Hey folks, it's Dave here outside in Studio G, where my dog over here is chasing the squirrel just off screen. You might hear him over there barking. But today I'm talking about History Maker Golf. This arrived a couple days ago, so I've had a chance to kick it around a little bit. I want to give you some, maybe the first look, initial thoughts in this game. But I do reserve the right to do a follow-up video and revise any of my opinions on this game in the future after I play it some more. But initial thoughts of this game. I'm blown away by it. I really am. This checks some of the major boxes for me when it comes to playing a game, and this goes right to the top of my list with shootout hockey and regular season basketball. So let me explain why. So the first box that this checked is the ease of use, or the small learning curve, okay? I was able to read the directions, watch a couple of videos on YouTube, and bam, I'm playing this game basically right out of the box. And that's kind of how it was with shootout and regular season basketball. It clicked with me, I'm able to play it, and the faster I can play your game, the more I'm probably going to like your game, because if it has a big learning curve and I try to learn it and I'm getting frustrated and there's so much going on, then it just goes on to the shelf, and maybe I get back to you later, maybe I don't. But anyway, this game plays right out of the box, nice and easy. So that's the first box it checks. The second box is game options, okay? I really like a game that I can play simple and basic, but if I want to, I can pick and choose from the buffet of options and add it to this game, and you can do that as well, as long as the other games I mentioned. Okay, so if you want to keep track of every single golfer and every single score, it's in here. You can do that. If you want to spend the time, you can take the whole stack and get scores for everybody and keep track of a big overhead, of a year's worth of playing if you want. It's in here. Or you can just pick a handful of golfers and play 9 holes or 18 holes. You can do anything you want in this game with that, and that's what really makes it stand out to me. So I can choose from the options, I can choose from the stats, and it really doesn't affect the overall gameplay. So that's the second box it checks. Third box is the fun and flow factor. Does this game flow? Is it fun? Do I feel like I'm there watching the game, or am I just doing a math problem? Okay, this game, I feel like I'm watching golf. I feel like I can broadcast this like I do with some of the other games. When you're a kid, we talked about this in other videos. I'm playing in the driveway. I'm Bobby Orr. I'm shooting baskets. I'm Larry Bird. I'm George Boomer Scott, hitting home runs with a wiffle ball. I did all that as a kid, and that's what I like to do now. I want to play at the table and describe the game like I'm watching it on TV, and you can do all that with this game. So it checks that third box as well. So this game here, it checks the ease of use box, it checks the options box, and it checks the fun and flow box for the immersion. It really does. And not that some games don't check some of these boxes, but I haven't found too many games that check all three. Okay, and some check 1, some checks 2, some checks 2.5 boxes, but this game here, again, it's pick up and play right out of the box. It's easy to follow, and I'm playing right away with the options I want, and I'm having fun. Okay, so now how this game plays is a couple different ways here. You could just pick a couple golfers and play 9 holes or 18 holes and just roll and follow along, or you can play a complete tournament. Okay, and I've tried both. So with the tournament, what you need to do is you take the whole stack, and then you start sorting out according to dice rolls, and you weed out players in the first and second round, and then you go to the third round, you do it again. So by the time you get to the fourth round, which is the Sunday cut, you're down to between 8 and 12 golfers, and that's who you follow along to the final 18. And then slowly you'll eliminate some of them, and so the TV cameras, as they say, will focus on the top golfers, and you follow them all the way to the end. It also staggers the way that they tee off. So the guys that are in last place will start teeing off first, and then the leaders will tee off later. So if you got 4 or 5 groups, they might be on hole 5 while the leaders are finally teeing off on hole 1, and you follow all that along. You do got to pay attention to that, because I found myself hitting the wrong golfer on the wrong holes. This was my first time, but I eventually smoothed it out and got it to work pretty well. So it does look, it's like you're watching it on TV. I mean, they've really done a fantastic job with this game. There's so many things in this game that I wouldn't have thought of, and to me that's a sign of a really good game when there's something in here that's like, boy, I never would have thought of that, and it's in here. And there's a handful of other games that I played too that just impressive. You're like, wow, I never would have thought of that, and kudos to them for doing that. So there's a lot into this game. And again, so getting back to how you play it, so when you finally get to Sunday, or if you just pick the 9 or 18 holes to play. When you finally get to rolling the dice for the holes, is you roll the dice, you see if you're looking at the course or if you're looking at the player chart, and it tells you where to look. And then you follow along. And the first one is, the first column is, is he a champion? If he's not, then you go here. Is he, whatever, a champion? And you look there, and you follow along until you find what he is, and then it tells you, okay, he chips on the green, difficult putt for par. Okay, or if you get all the way to the end, it might just get down to the bottom and say, if none of this, if nothing, you don't find anything here, this is what it is. It's going to be a moderate putt for bogey or something like that. So you just follow along on the chart, going down until you find where it matches or it doesn't match. And it's really, I'm probably saying it wrong, but it's really easy to follow. And so that's how you do the holes. Now, as far as getting it to flow, yeah, you're flipping through charts, but for me, what I do to keep it flowing is I envision the ball in the air. So if I roll, let's say, and I'm in the sand trap, but I'm in a lot of sand traps, I'll get to that one in a second, is I envision the guy like watching the ball go into the trap, and he's walking up to the sand trap. He's going to be like, okay, what do I got to do to get out of this? So by the time you go to the sand trap chart and you see what's coming up, he'll say like, okay, good shot out of the sand trap. You got a easy putt for par. So you're like, okay, he's in the sand trap, but he get out of that and he'll get out of this with a par. So I find that even if I go into some of the hazards, I'm still getting the game to flow in my mind. Okay, so that'll bring me to maybe some of my complaints about the game. And they're very minor, but I do find myself in the traps a lot. Maybe it's the courses I've chosen, but it seems like I'm always in a sand trap. And I'd like to, again, getting back to the mishits of some other golf games that I talked about, I'd like to see some better play. And even though the stats might not add up to that, maybe the stats are completely correct, but it seems like, man, I'm always in a sand trap. Doesn't mean that I'm still not, 5 or 6 under par by any means, but boy, you like to see like a guy just like boom down the middle and drop it on and get a nice putt for birdie and get out of there. And it doesn't happen all that often. I find that I'm digging out of the hazards quite a bit in this game, and maybe that's just how real golf is. I don't know, but I just find that I'm doing that a lot. Doesn't wreck the game, but I've noticed that I'm in the sand quite a bit. In the first 3 games I played this, I'm in the sand more than I'm in anything else. But the other small little gripe about this game is that give yourself some time. Okay, this is not a quick play game. Even in its quickest form, it's not a quick play game. It's going to take you some time. Unless you played one golfer and just played 9 holes where it's kind of quick. But if you want to get into this, give yourself some time. I was playing about 3 hours last night, and I'm finally on the back 9 of the Sunday group, and I got like 5 or 6 golfers left. And that's still going to probably take me about an hour or so. So give yourself some time for this game. There's really no quick play game. I don't think it's designed for that. But if I had a small complaint, it was that give yourself some time for this game because you're going to need it. So just wrapping things up here, I'm pleasantly surprised with this game. And I don't say pleasantly surprised like I thought it was going to be a bad game, because I did watch the videos, I did read the reviews. That's why I bought it, because I knew it was going to be a good game. But it wasn't until I actually played it for myself that I sat down and rolled the dice and saw how fun it was and how easy it was, that I realized that, wow, I'm surprised at how much better it is than I thought it was going to be, and I'm quite impressed with it. So I can't wait to get some more courses and more players and play this here. And it is addicting. As again, I played 3 hours last night, and it went by like that. It was so addicting to play. So yeah, so History Maker Golf from Play.com. So far, my initial thoughts, this game blows me away. It goes right to the top of my list. I really enjoy it a lot. So I'm Dave. We'll talk to everybody later. Oh, and I'll have some gameplay videos coming up, no doubt, shortly as well. I just want to make sure that I get the game flowing, and I'll get a good setup on the table and show you what's going on, at least as far as I play it. So I will have some gameplay videos coming up shortly after I get a little bit better at it. But yeah, highly recommend it. So I'm Dave. Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.